This is presented by HBS Connect, Japanese freight forwarder in Japan.
Hello, this is Iino. Today I'll be delivering the latest logistics news for early May 2025. We'll cover the impact of Trump's reciprocal tariffs, the latest container rates, and the start of entry fees for Chinese vessels in the U.S. Let's get started. Impact of Trump's reciprocal tariffs on the supply chain. The trade relationship between the U.S. and China is once again under pressure. Trump's reciprocal tariff policy is gaining attention, and its impact is expected to ripple through the logistics sector. Currently, there are no significant changes in the flow of goods in the logistics field. However, depending on future developments, U.S.-bound exports, especially from China, may decline. Many factories in the U.S. are currently importing parts from China to assemble products. Switching suppliers to other countries requires time and effort for quality verification, production line adjustments, and contract revisions. The same applies to finished goods. Changing the structure of the entire supply chain will take considerable time. Thus, while the effects of reciprocal tariffs may not be immediate, they could gradually impact the entire supply chain. We must continue to monitor changes in U.S. trade relations closely. Container rates remain steady, U.S.-China relations under watch. As of April 15, 2025, reports indicate that container rates on major routes remain stable. Rates for shipments from Shanghai to the U.S. West Coast stand at $2,202 and $3,226 for the East Coast, maintaining levels in the $2,000 and $3,000 ranges, respectively. Despite ongoing tariff impositions and delays in the U.S., these factors have not significantly impacted shipping rates yet. However, if tariffs increase substantially, Chinese exports to the U.S. may become less competitive, leading to order cancellations. If this trend continues, declining demand could potentially drive down freight rates. However, some shipping lines are already adjusting supply, which could stabilize or even increase rates if capacity is reduced. For now, market uncertainty is high, and the direction of freight rates remains unclear. European-bound rates are also showing a downward trend. Shanghai to Northern Europe stands at $1,356 per 20-foot container, while rates to the Mediterranean are $2,144. Both showing a decline compared to previous periods. With the U.S. market facing challenges, there is speculation that trade between China and Europe may strengthen. In the U.S., the peak season surcharge is typically implemented from summer through autumn, leading to increased shipments before China's National Day. If shipping costs surge during this period, they may be passed on to consumers, but some companies might absorb the losses to avoid price hikes, making the overall impact unpredictable. The future direction of container rates remains uncertain as multiple factors, such as U.S.-China relations, shipping line strategies, and seasonal influences, continue to intertwine. Therefore, close monitoring of the market is essential. New entry fees for Chinese ships to North America. Rate hikes expected. The U.S. Trade Representative has officially announced the introduction of new entry fees targeting Chinese shipping companies and Chinese-built vessels. The policy will take effect after a 180-day grace period, making it highly likely that shipping rates on trans-Pacific routes to North America will rise. Under the new system, fees of up to $1 million will be imposed on Chinese-operated ships and up to $1.5 million on Chinese-built vessels. Additionally, a $50 fee per net ton will be applied, calculated based on either net tonnage or the number of containers, whichever is greater. Specifically, a fee of $120 per container and $18 per ton of cargo upon vessel arrival will be charged. For car carriers, a $150 fee per CEU, car equivalent unit, will be applied. Larger vehicles and heavy equipment will also be subject to specific charges based on vehicle type. In the second phase of the policy, the regulations will be extended to ships transporting LNG, liquefied natural gas. Within 3 years, certain LNG shipments to the U.S. will be required to use vessels built in the United States. This aligns with the Trump administration's economic strategy to promote domestic manufacturing. The impact of this policy will extend beyond Chinese shipping lines. Since approximately 60% of the world's merchant ships are built in China, European carriers like Maersk and MSC, as well as operators from Taiwan, South Korea, and Singapore, are also expected to face increased costs. On trans-Pacific routes, the entry fees are likely to be added to shipping rates, potentially leading to sustained high freight costs 6 months from now. This policy may also drive a shift in sourcing locations from China to other countries, such as Vietnam. Some Chinese exporters may choose to exit the U.S. market and focus on Europe or other regions. These shifts could trigger a substantial restructuring of supply chains, marking a significant turning point for the logistics sector. Companies will need to assess their strategies and cost structures well in advance of the policy implementation. That wraps up today's logistics news. The logistics sector is undergoing significant changes with reciprocal tariffs, unstable freight rates, and the impending entry fees for Chinese vessels. Staying agile and prepared for rapid market shifts will be essential. That's all for this time. Thank you very much.
In this channel, I explain about international logistics knowledge for your better understanding. I hope this video will be a good support for your logistics job. If you have any shipment from Thailand or to Thailand, please feel free to contact me, Iino-san, anytime. Also, I'm very motivated to keep updating these videos. If you subscribe, press good or comment anything. Well, thank you. See you next time.